Picnic Sports, episode 5 with Steve Weil and Neil Deecher. Excited. There's actually sports this weekend. Live, actual, meaningful games. Are you excited, Steve?
I am excited that there's going to be more sports than baseball.
We're going to get into that later. I'm going to try to convince you that baseball is meaningful.
And I will listen attentively and see if I agree.
So I also got my buddies, Jake, Cody. He said last night he was going to join us. I'm still waiting on confirmation on this morning. He's been my fantasy football manager in one of my leagues for like 10 years. So it's funny because we worked at Pizza Hut together, like very briefly, and somehow we became this, sports friends. So the only really, relationship we had is through this league. And he's been such a great manager, but it'll be interesting to see what he has to say about, fantasy football this year. And he's a big Steelers fan, so we'll have him on for a couple minutes. Did you do the agenda? I did some of it.
No, you did the thing. I never wrote up an agenda, so we're gonna wing it.
We're gonna wing it today. All right. You know what? The 5-game parlay that I tried to live post yesterday.
Yeah. How'd that go?
It went so bad because I couldn't apparently because I did the Instagram video or story, and it was like a minute 10. So like half my prediction, like the end of the last prediction got cut off. And I was like, fuck it, and I just deleted it. But I got the Twitter on there as far as the description of what it was, but it wasn't the same. And I didn't do very good anyways. I did pick the 2 baseball games. I got the Rays won, beat the spread 1.5. Chicago White Sox won. They beat their spread. They were actually dogs. But I went with the under on the Sox game for 10. And the night before they scored 15 points. It was 10-5. So they scored 15 points together. And I was like, Dallas Kuechly or whatever his name is a pretty good pitcher for the Sox. And I think they'll win this game. And he is a good pitcher, and he did hold them only to he did hold them to 3 points or something like that. But the Sox scored like a ton. The Sox scored at least 10. So I didn't get that one. And then Gustafsson was a favorite. Did you watch that fight last night?
No, I didn't watch anything. What happened?
Well, I went to, and I thought it was paid for, but then I go to watch the fight on ESPN, and it's live. I was like, oh, they didn't even charge for this. But Gustafsson, he was looking pretty good neutral, and the guy took him down really awkwardly, brought him down when he got his arm. He had an arm bar ready to go, and Gustafsson was trying to keep his arm from getting his arm because he knew if he got it, he was done. And so the guy was grabbing his arm, and then he just started hammer fisting his head. Finally, he got his arm, and as soon as he got his arm, he tapped because it's those light heavyweights, they'll break his fucking arm.
Yeah, I mean, even if it doesn't hurt, you got to tap, or else they'll break your arm. It's no joke, man.
Yeah, he knew that he had him, so that was but that was the only fight I caught, and it was weird because that was the only fight I bet on or I had a prediction on, and I went to go see if I could watch it, and it was on. I was like, sweet. Wasn't even prepared for it. And then I took the Utah Jazz, and I still got that game. So the NBA next week is going to be interesting. Thursday we got games. Utah Jazz versus New Orleans, and then the two LA teams, Lakers and Clippers.
So do the Pelicans have their guys back, or Zion back yet? Is he going to play?
Zion is back and going to play.
Oh, all right. So you picked the Jazz in that game.
Yeah, I know. And then the line didn't even move. It's still the same. So I don't. Oh no, now it's 2. It was 2.5. So now the Jazz
people are betting on the Pelicans.
The Jazz. No, it
Oh,
was 2.5. Now it's 2 for the Jazz.
so
People
they're
were
betting
betting on
on.
the Jazz. We'll wait a couple days, and I bet you that spread goes up for the Jazz because Zion's back. But like I said, I think I like the Jazz. I like the Mavericks, and they won a couple of their scrimmage games too. So they beat LA actually. They beat the Lakers. Scrimmage game. So what does that mean? I don't know.
Did you see the play where LeBron dove for that ball that was already out of bounds and like slid off the stage or whatever?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like a breakaway. The ball rolled out of bounds, like off the court, past the barricade, and he like dove for it and just like slid off the court, completely gone.
He's excited to play. I think he's ready to. You know, I hate to count out LeBron. Now, I had my picks, the Jazz and the Celtics. It breaks my heart not to pick LeBron because I think LeBron is like angry. Like, I don't know. He turns it on, man. When he knows something's on the line, like an NBA championship, and no matter what the circumstances are, he'll turn it on, and it doesn't. He'll carry the whole team on his back.
Yeah, I think he's pretty dedicated to proving he is the best basketball player in the world.
Yeah.
Because for some reason it's still debatable.
Are you an MJ over LeBron?
I wouldn't say it like that. I think they played in different eras, and so it's hard to compare them. LeBron's gonna have every stat. He's gonna have all those stats. He'll have better stats than Jordan ever had. He's played longer, and so he'll just dominate him statistically. I just don't know if he'll ever have the championships, and so I think Jordan will hold that over him, and it'll just always be a debate. And I don't think anyone's wrong in any choice that they make. It's just, did you watch Michael? Did you only see LeBron? If you can't compare them, it'll be hard. It's like when people try to talk about like Wilt or Kareem, and like, oh yeah, but I've never seen them play, so how can I actually compare their game to guys that are playing today?
Yeah, right. I agree. I never seen Jordan play, so LeBron's been the man for me for the whole time I've been watching the NBA. So
yeah, I only saw the last season. Like, I only have memory of Jordan's last season. I was like, I don't know, 7 or 8. I can't remember, but so I don't have a lot of memory of Jordan, or I don't even have like memories of Jordan when he played good. It's just like his last season. So
all right, let me take 5 here.
I'm
gonna call Jake, see if he's ready, because he didn't answer my message.
All right.
If he's not, we gotta fill that void. But let's take 5. All right.
Yep. Break.
All right, we're back. So I went to the water park yesterday, and for some reason I had my phone in my pocket for one of the rides. I didn't think, it was one of those new iPhones, the iPhone X. I thought it was pretty water resistant. It's not. So now my Face ID doesn't work. I have been having to rice all night, and I just tried to turn it on. So I can't hear when I make a phone call, only if it's out of speaker. So hopefully those things come back. Otherwise, I gotta get a new phone by tomorrow, or I gotta get one tomorrow or today. Fuck. All right, Jake said he was gonna join us. He said he totally forgot.
Perfect. So. That's par for the course for picnic sports.
Yes, it is.
He'll fit right in.
All right, Steve. This segment before Jake comes on, and maybe we can roll it into Jake's segment because he probably feels the same way. So I understand there's no fans right now in the stadiums, but what is your beef against the MLB in baseball as a sport? I know it's been losing fans, sort of. Football is way more exciting. I would definitely say football is my favorite sport. But the MLB's got its certain it's got a certain, I don't know, feeling you get when you watch the games. But let me hear you first and how you feel about the MLB, why it's so boring to you.
All right, so I am a Red Sox fan if I'm watching baseball, and
Okay.
I really enjoyed the Red Sox Yankees rivalry in the early 2000s. We spent a lot of time in high school like hanging out watching those series, and that was before Boston broke the curse, so it kind of had like a story to it and stuff, and so I really enjoyed watching baseball in high school during at least the playoffs. I didn't really follow it, but I was excited to watch it when they played the Yankees and like throughout the playoffs and stuff like that. And then I went to college and I started playing fantasy baseball, and so I was watching it every day.
Right.
You know, I needed to know the stats, I needed to see everybody, and I really enjoyed it when I was playing fantasy baseball. But then I quit playing fantasy baseball and I kind of lost the allure for it. The sport itself is a borderline sport. It's a skill that a lot of people can't do. It's very hard to hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. It's very hard to pitch, very well over the course of not even a game, but like a season. I understand those are skill sets, but when your third baseman and your first baseman combined to weigh like 600 pounds, I don't know if you can call it a sport.
You're saying it as a physical aspect. You're saying that, yes.
And don't get me wrong, I mean, it's a professional sport and those guys are all athletes. They could probably play, multiple sports. They have the skill, the physical attributes to play sports. I'm not saying that they're not athletic. It's just not something that I could do or watch or play and get the same type of satisfaction out of anymore. I don't know. It's slow. It's boring. Games take a long time. I just can't sit down and slow my life down like that.
Yeah, I understand. And I feel the same way, definitely sometimes. I don't think I could just watch baseball all day and be satisfied. Like I could watch I could watch NFL all day. Even in the NFL, I get bored. I'm like another commercial, or you know what I mean, or another flag, or another punt.
You got to get the red zone.
Yeah.
No commercials, and it's nonstop from 1 o'clock until Sunday Night Football.
Yeah. Which makes it a lot easier to watch it, yes, without the flags and everything like that. But even so, with flags. All right, so here's my thing on baseball. Physically, I guess I could understand why you would say that. I mean, these guys are physically gifted athletes, so that's a tough. I mean, come on. Like Aaron Judge or Stan or anybody on the Yankees, and you see these guys, they're just like monsters. They could play.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. Like, to say that baseball isn't a sport isn't to say that the people that play the game aren't athletes, I guess. I'm not saying that. They're all fucking athletes. They're all way better athletically gifted than I'll ever be.
Okay. But I guess to my point, I would say it's almost more a mental game than it is physical game. Like, and I think that's the true sport right there. I guess what I tried to fall in love with baseball is like I watched like the pitcher and the batter go into this mental strategic chess match every time they go at it. So the batter is essentially trying to guess the pitch. He can't see it. There's no fucking way he can see that fastball. He's trying to guess based on what he pitched him last time, what he's been pitching to other batters. What's the count? What's the score like? Who's on third? There's all these integral things, and it's almost like the ultimate team sport. It's just strategy. So there's a guy on third, and there's only one out. So the batter is essentially thinking, all I need to do is pop this up into the outfield so he could tag and score, right? I mean, we've done this in kickball. There's certain strategies you get, right? So the pitcher should know that. So he shouldn't give him a pitch that'll allow him to do that. But last night, it happened. One of the Nationals guys popped it up, and that's all he was going for. And he just got lucky enough that it was away from the center fieldman, and it bounced and went into the ground rule double. So it's just those kind of instances. It's like it's a complete strategic game, and that's what I find so beautiful about it. And you get one of these pitchers, and some of these games are like 0-1 or 2-1, these low-scoring games. But these pitchers are just incredible. You know what I mean? To not have anybody hit them is crazy.
How about that guy on opening day, Bieber or whatever? How many strikeouts did he end up having? He was at 14 at one point.
Oh, right. Yeah. And then I'll give you this. So the most exciting time for baseball for me, and this is going to be so funny, is that it was when Houston was on that playoff run to win the World Series, because they were just hitting everything. And wasn't that exciting? Home run, home run. They were just cranking balls, man. And against the Dodgers, against really good pitchers, and like it was an exciting World Series and playoff run. And now we find out is that they cheated.
They were cheating.
But I remember watching that whole playoff series. I'm like, this is awesome. This is good for baseball. This is the most exciting I've ever seen baseball in my life. And it turns out they were cheating.
So I can actually agree with you on like the individual matchups between like the batters and the pitchers. I saw a breakdown of one of Juan Soto's at bats in the playoffs last year, and every time the pitcher threw a ball, he would do what is called the Soto shuffle, where he would like hop step forward, grab his junk, and then like stare at the pitcher, like, "Oh, you're not gonna throw me a strike." And so it was like this back and forth between him and the pitcher, and then eventually he popped out or grounded out or whatever, and the pitcher walked off the mound, looked at Soto and grabbed his junk, and it was like, all right, I get that combat between two individual players, and I can appreciate that. It's just hard to pick out those, you're not going to have the same type of interaction every time. And so, it's hard to make it from one good interaction to the next. You might have a good interaction one time, but you might be waiting an inning and a half before another important batter comes up and it's another tense situation.
It's a good point, because Juan Soto is definitely one of those up-and-coming players, man. He's a rock star. I like Juan Soto a lot as a baseball player. It's exciting. He's clutch. You know what I mean? You just love clutch players. They just go up to the base or the home plate, and they're just confident. And they'll look right at the pitcher and be like, "I'm going to hit a home run on you," and then he does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. All these players they have, and you're right though. In the lineups can get kind of boring because this guy's up like his average is a 1 something, and you're like, this is not going to do anything. And then you go innings and stretches without good hits or matchups that like that, but that's what you wait for. It might be a little slower than the NFL, but sometimes I feel like the NFL can drag like that too.
I think I was listening to Bill Simmons, and he was talking about how this is a good time to maybe potentially listen to baseball on the radio again, because it's such a good radio sport. And I think I could agree with him. Like, if I was doing something and I just had it on in the background with the announcers, letting us know what's going on via radio as opposed to watching it, I might, be more inclined to watch or listen to a longer stretch of the game than watching it.
Yeah, I gotcha. And I think I started listening to baseball when I first moved down here because the Rays, I would just listen to the broadcast. And they do a good job describing everything that's going on. It was funny last night, the Yankees and Nationals game. They were announcing the game and they weren't even there. It was so surreal. It was weird.
Yeah,
Joe Buck was there, and he wasn't even there. He was like in Denver or something.
Yeah, all the announcers are doing it like remotely, right?
Yeah,
it's wild.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I think it's 10:30. We almost got Jake coming on. Here's my strategy for you, Steve, for baseball. Pick the games that you know that there's going to be the good matchups that you're looking for. That's what I try to do. Last night, the Yankees and the Nationals, that's why it's on prime time. That's why they showcased that series, because they think the Yankees are the favorites and the Nats won it last year, are the champs. So last night's game was pretty good. It was good for the Nationals because Scherzer, one of their all-star pitchers, was scratched. I'm not sure why, and then they still managed to pull off a win against a stacked Yankees lineup. So
Yeah, Giancarlo's hitting bombs
Yeah,
right
dude,
out of the gate.
doesn't he look slim? He looks, and they were saying that on there. He looks really like healthy and athletic right now.
I like his mustache too.
I didn't even notice it. All right, we got Jake Cody in the waiting room. I'm going to ask him a few questions. You can ask him a couple questions too, Steve, since you're a fantasy manager as well.
Sure.
We'll see what he thinks about the upcoming the season.
What up, Neil?
What's going on? You got the quarantine beard going.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah, I got to get a cut.
So what's going on? I like the office. I did see that before. It's all decked out.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I got the man cave. Hold on, got to get the big fat head in here.
Man, Neil, you weren't kidding. He is a Steelers fan.
Oh yeah, baby, die hard.
Battle of Pennsylvania right here on the podcast.
Oh man, Philly fans.
Yes, sir.
Hey, congrats, man. You guys got yours. It's a lot easier when you got Dallas and the G-men in your division.
Hey, I'll take it every time.
Gotta go 9-7 to win your division. You're lucking out.
All right. We'll get into that. Let me ask you a question, Jake.
Go ahead.
You've been our fantasy manager for almost like 10 years.
Yeah. I think
crazy?
This is the 9th year. Yeah, that is pretty crazy, honestly.
And we met very briefly. I think we were only like coworkers for like a couple months.
Yeah, at the hut.
So, how did you keep 10 people? I think you lost one and we gained another. How did you keep 10 people together for 10 years on the fantasy team?
Just everyone loves fantasy, man. I mean, honestly, I love it.
You're saying it just works itself, right?
Yeah, people just stay in there. They love it. They love giving me their money. I don't know what it is.
Well, I would think it'd be tough. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What is it? I won the league like 4 times, I think.
Yeah.
And then you won it once,
I got once.
Yeah. Got a year in. Yeah. I get pretty lucky though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, just how did you keep everybody together? Sometimes it's tough because like people get pissed off and leave.
Well, I run a pretty fair league, I think. If anyone, has any, complaints or whatever, we talk it out. And it's really it. I let the people talk. I let them vote, I'm just the manager, but everything, in my league we vote on. That's pretty key, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Every rule change. Sometimes I get a little. I'm like the last one to know all these rule changes, Jake, but that's fine. So who you keeping this year? Our keeper.
I don't know. It's pretty easy for me. I think I'm gonna have to keep Lamar Jackson. I got him in the 11th round. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let's hear it, Lyle.
Lamar Jackson in the 11th round, like that's stealing for the rest of his career.
Well, what for my league is you can only keep him twice. So
all right.
Because I had Kamara in the 9th round I've had him last 3 seasons because you have him 1 year and then you keep him twice.
Yep.
And so I've been just I've been a gold mine out here.
I played in 7 championships last year and won 3 of them because of Lamar Jackson.
Wow.
I drafted Lamar in every league.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, honestly. Yeah. I liked him. He's a fantasy gold mine. Bottom line, fantasy gold mine.
Because we knew he was going to run. We knew he was going to run, and then if he ever figured out how to throw the ball, it was lights out, and he dominated. It was great.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think about Marquise Brown then this year? Is he the guy?
Down Hollywood Brown? I don't know. I don't know if there is a guy, really. Lamar's kind of just the guy. But I don't know. I like Ingram. They drafted what's his name too out of Ohio State.
Dobbins. Yeah, J.K. Dobbins, dude, and he's fast.
Yeah, Dobbins. Yeah, he should be good. So
do you think he takes the share of the touches by the end of the year?
I don't know. I think he's gonna bite into it just enough. but Ingram's gonna still get touchdowns and he'll still get his. So we'll see.
Yeah, Ingram shared a backfield with another like elite running back his entire career and has never had any issues.
Never.
It's a solid point. All right, let's talk about your Steelers then. What do you think about them? Honestly, the whole is Roethlisberger retired? What's the deal?
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's old now, but I still think he's got something to prove now. I don't know. He's a Christian man now. I don't know. He's doing all this stuff. He's dropping weight. I'm always, I'll always say, let's go Steelers. If I had to say with my head, I don't know. I think they're going to have a good season. I think they're going to have a very good bounce back season. That defense is stout. The defense is unbelievable. So if that offense can just produce, we could be a top, 12, top 15 offense, then watch out.
Yeah, the defense is good.
My hot take on the Steelers is Deontay Johnson is going to be insane, and Roethlisberger is going to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
I like it.
Oh, okay.
Before last year, he did lead the league in passing yards.
Yeah, it's not like he forgot how to throw a football.
No. So, I don't know why they haven't signed a backup. We could use one. Ben's getting older. He takes a lot of hits. I don't think Mason Rudolph is the answer.
You got Duck, though, right?
Yeah, we got the Duck.
Let's go, Duck.
Let's go, Duck. Yeah.
So I guess my only prediction for the Steelers is that they're going to hand the ball off a lot. I think they're going to become a defensive, give James Conner the ball. And I think James Conner might be one of the top 10 running backs this year for sure. He's going to be
a very split backfield. Very split.
You do? Who's the other guy?
They got a few. They got whoa, I think I just X'd out.
Just your video.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. They got him. They still got Samuels back there. They got who else? Who am I missing here? No, I'm missing a few. I know they got two other ones.
Oh, they don't trust Connor? I thought they liked Connor to give the rock.
I do, I don't know. They might just run him into the ground. He can leave after this year. Juju can leave. So I think they're either going to split the backfield up or they're just going to run Connor in the ground. And they did it with Willie Parker. They ran him into the ground and they said, all right, see ya.
Yeah.
They have Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland.
Yeah. So Snell, he was good in Kentucky. So, we'll see. See if he'll take carries. He's a bigger back.
All right. That's a really weird division for me. I don't know who wins that. Baltimore? I don't know. Cleveland's supposed to be.
You got to say Baltimore if you're going to.
Yeah. Pick. And then Cleveland's going to be pretty interesting this year if they could bounce back, or you just think they're at the bottom of the division again?
I don't know. My father has always told me this. They're the Cleveland Browns. Until they do it, it doesn't matter how much talent they are. You can use them on Madden, and that's
it. This would be very Browns this season to have zero hype and then be really good.
I know. I like Baker, to tell you the truth. I think he's a great quarterback. I thought that line was treacherous last year, but we'll see. They got all the talent in the world.
Yeah. All right. We did top 5 quarterback rankings. I think we did top 10. We didn't give you much of the chance. You're on a spot, right?
Top 5.
Yeah. Top 5. Well, you got to put Mahomie. That's pretty easy. I'm putting Mahomie number 1. He's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Might have one of the greatest arms you've ever seen. And he's only been in the league a short period of time. I don't want to scare anyone with that comment, but that's how I feel. His arm is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'd probably put Lamar 2. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I got Wilson up there. You got to put Breeze up there. I don't know. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Well, you got Kyler Murray now. You got Brady, and you
think Brady's got a shot with his offense?
I think Brady is going to have a great year, but I don't think he's going to be as high of a fantasy guy as people are going to draft him. He's only thrown over 40 touchdowns once, and that was with Randy Moss.
Good stat of the day.
Yeah, stat of the day, dropping stats. But and people are going to draft him high, which they should. He's got tons of weapons, but he is old. He's getting up there. I think he'll be closer to 30 touchdown range. So I think he'll be a bottom, maybe like an 8 to 10 fantasy guy, as opposed to people probably will draft him as a top 5 fantasy quarterback because the hype is unbelievable down there.
Yeah. I like that you got Breeze up there in your top 5. Because of Michael Thomas?
He's solid, yeah. Michael Thomas, 130, what was it, 139 catches or something like that last year. He's unbelievable. But here, I'll give you a fantasy. I'll give you one. Here, hold on, I got one for you. Mark this down. All right. Hopkins is going to finish as the number 1 fantasy quarterback this year, or wide receiver. I'm sorry.
Okay. Kyler Murray up there.
With Kyler Murray slinging that thing, all they want to do is throw the ball. That's all they want to do.
I agree. I like that take. I think Kyler Murray has a chance to be the number 1 overall quarterback.
Yeah. I love them. I think they win the division this year. So
me too.
Yeah.
Let's go. Get on the Arizona train. I love it.
Wow, I like it. Yes, their defense. Isaiah Simmons. I'm just worried about the offensive line. Isn't it terrible?
Yeah. It's not the best, but all
they got
they're gonna do is throw
Shipley.
that rock.
They got AQ Shipley.
You guys are out of your mind. That division's stacked. They just Seattle, and then Seattle, they just got Jamal Adams. Like that defense.
Oh my God,
always been good.
That was a good trade for both of them.
Yeah, Seattle's really pushing for it. They want to get another Super Bowl with Russell Wilson while he's in his prime.
The holes he fills up too he's awesome. Russell Wilson's awesome.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, that was a great trade for the Jets. 2 first-rounders, a third-rounder. They got a haul for him, man, for a safety.
Yeah, he's worth it though. He's worth it.
Yeah, he's good. I always just see that Giants game where he basically bear hugs Saquon Barkley, takes the ball away from Saquon Barkley and runs for a touchdown. I'm like, geez,
So I got a question for you, Jake. Another fantasy manager to another, one fantasy manager to another. What's your plan for this season? Are you gonna do any type of more IR spots? Are you gonna do anything with the money, like any stipulations? This is gonna be a weird season.
Yeah, I have thought about this. I did think about adding an IR spot, another one. We have one, but it is going to be a weird season. I'm just kind of playing it week by week almost, I haven't scheduled the draft yet or nothing because, truthfully, I think it's going to get pushed back. So
that would be interesting. I think it would be better to push it back than to skip games in the middle.
Yeah.
If once you start, you want to go the full season.
Yeah. I think October 1st is realistic for me. Especially all the complaints are coming out. Players are already not happy. So,
did you see that Chiefs offensive lineman who is going to opt out for the season?
Yeah. 150. All he gets is 150,000. Forfeits all his money. But he's a doctor, if I read it right.
Yeah, he actually practices out of Montreal, I think.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be a weird season. It really is. It's gonna be really weird.
So
I don't know.
What happens if we have less than 16 games? What are we gonna do for a championship? Because we won't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's gonna be basically, I don't know, shortened season. I say we'll probably play it the same, but if we're only playing 10 games, regular season. And that's all they're going to play is, maybe we'll only play, 7 and then you're going to playoffs, or we'll just have to see how many games they actually play.
Yeah.
See, I thought the NFL Players Association agreed on something. They made a deal. And they said that they got what they wanted as far as rules and regulations for this coming into camp.
Yeah, I think part of that deal too says that if they don't play the full season, the money isn't guaranteed anymore. So that might be incentive for them to play the full season. But I didn't look into it. I'm not sure.
I think you're right on that. Yeah, I didn't. It just came out yesterday. I didn't know.
See,
I didn't know.
Steve kind of was scaring me, saying, "Are they going to play? Are they going to play?" Because players were coming out and voicing their opinion, and I thought it was a positive sign that they were, kind of getting out there, out in the open early. Or they were like, "What's going on? We don't have any rules. Let's get some rules. We want to play." So I thought that was a good sign that the players were taking the initiative. I think we play. I do. All the other sports are going. I think we miss preseason and we start week 1. I get your guys' concerns that it starts, then, there's a second outbreak and then they have to, postpone the season midway. But I don't know. You got to be a little optimistic about it.
Optimistic Neil.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We need something.
All right. I guess I also wanted to ask you about Cam Newton at the Patriots. How high is he going to go in our fantasy draft this year? He's going to go. He's the first quarterback gone in our league, or what?
No. I think he's going to be. I think Bill Belichick and that offense. I think he's going to be awesome. I hate to say it, but Belichick just brings the best out of players, and I don't know. I think Cam's going to have a great year. If he could stay healthy, he's going to have a great year.
Yep. All right.
I feel bad for Buffalo fans, man.
I know, right? I know, because they look good. Josh Allen and the Bills.
Who has a better season fantasy-wise, Josh Allen or Cam Newton?
Cam. I don't think Josh – just because I don't think Josh Allen is – he's crazy out there, honestly. Every time he's running the ball, I'm holding my breath, I don't know. I don't think he's going to make it. It doesn't matter how many games they play, one shot, and I think he's gotten lucky. Hurdling guys. He's crazy.
I still wish that he would have completed that lateral to Dawson Knox because that was a touchdown.
Yeah.
It was the right play.
Yeah.
He just missed it. Because if he would have caught that lateral, Dawson Knox would have walked in. There was nobody between him and the end zone for 40 yards.
No. Yeah. Could have happened, He's been playing too much NFL Street, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's a wild card out there. I love it.
You make a good point, Jake, because I think that's the reason why I do like watching him play. But he's just a step or two away from getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, how can you go against the guy who throws Hail Marys to fullbacks?
I don't know. He hasn't been good. He's better than I already thought he'd be, to tell you the truth. Coming out of Delaware, he had 16 passing touchdowns. He got drafted in the first round. I was like, what are they doing? But he's Buffalo, they love him. So go Josh Allen as long as he can go.
I love it.
Yeah, so Josh he's 6'5". Like, I think they wanted like a big guy like Ben Roethlisberger to play in the Buffalo. It's a tough region to play in, all the snow and everything like that. So I don't know. Let's see. I'm rooting for him. Steve, you got any more questions for Jake? Or Jake, you got any questions for us?
No, I mean, just make sure you got my PayPal. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, no, we're gonna do our fantasy draft live, I think. So we'll have everybody on the Zoom hopefully for our draft. I do have everybody too. We have 10 people, so I don't know, Steve. What do you guys think for money? And I tend to lean towards a smaller pot because I don't want to scare people away.
Yeah.
People see 50 or 75 or $100 and they're like, better
come
not.
on, man. I don't speak broke out here. I'm just kidding.
I don't care. We can do whatever you want. You want to do 25 or whatever? That's cool.
All right.
Who's the 10th?
Jake's the 10th person. And I got the kid Austin, who I bartend with, and down here.
All right.
Unless you got somebody. I already asked him, but.
No, I don't have anybody.
I'm assuming your brother is going to be on it too.
Okay, I'll double check with him to make sure, and I'll have someone to replace him if he doesn't do it.
Okay.
Hey Neil, you could get Jim if you needed someone.
Yeah, does he still play? He's still in
Yeah,
our league, right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's
You know how
fallen
Jim is.
off. He's fallen off because he was doing really good in our league the
Yeah.
first, and now he's
He's
like at
just
the bottom
he's
every
just
year.
older now. He drafts all the older guys. Like I'm like, all right, dude. How many times you gonna draft, Devontae Parker? How many times?
He's always got Tyler Lockett too, doesn't he? Even though
Oh
Tyler
my
Lockett.
gosh. Dude, I swear he drafted Steven Jackson every year of his career.
He's a big Dallas fan too.
Yeah.
here's
I'm
a
surprised.
here's a question that I have. Is Deontay Freeman gonna play football this season? He's still a free agent,
It's crazy, honestly. I think if you're Tampa, why don't you go sign him? Honestly.
right?
Why not?
There's got
I
to
know
be
they got that rookie, but
there's
I
got to
don't
be a
know.
team that doesn't have a solid running back. That's wild.
Yeah, I think the reports in Tampa was that it's not off the table. They just want to make sure they have the right price. I don't think they want to overpay him.
I heard the Eagles were looking at him too, which is wild to me. But
They always sign random running backs, honestly. I feel
yeah, they hate fantasy football.
Yeah.
If you want to talk Eagles, I love the 80. I like what's the running back we like at Philly?
Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to catch a lot of balls. So
Watch out for Corey Clement.
Oh, really? And Boston Scott?
He's healthy. Corey
Yeah.
Clement's healthy, man. He's gonna take carries and touches or catches away from Sanders. So we'll see what happens there.
Oh, okay.
It's good for my football team. It's bad for my fantasy team.
Yeah. So the our fantasy league live on the podcast should be interesting. I know. Jake's thinking like $25. We should do like 100 or something like that, right? I know you over there. What's ours?
Hey.
Like 75?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm in some big ones, it doesn't matter, It's
The
hard,
bigger
when you win, I'm like jack it up.
Yeah, right.
It does make it so people will definitely pay more attention. $25, like, I won't even set my lineup this week, maybe, but hopefully we get some people that pay attention.
Make it 50, and then see where it goes.
That's good. I like 50. I think I'm going to do 50 because you're truly invested with $50.
Yeah.
I was telling Jake if we could put all the money into Tesla stock and see where it lands at the end of the year. I think if we all pitched in 150, we could buy one share right now.
Jeez.
Let's do Bitcoin instead.
Oh, I don't even know how to buy Bitcoin. Is that like you buy the mining
you can do
company?
You can do it right on Robinhood. Just like
really?
you would buy Tesla stock. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or we get some pot stocks. We'll put it in some cheap pot stocks and see where it lands at the end of the year.
That's the way to go, man.
We should do that for all our leagues.
Yeah.
They should be collecting interest and not just sitting in somebody's PayPal account.
I know, right? That's what I do. That's what I do with all my fantasy money that people pay me. That goes out and does other stuff. If people think I'm holding on to that, they're crazy.
All right, Jake. I'm definitely excited to have you on the show more often, dude. You got some solid fantasy takes, and I knew that, so I'm glad you're on the show.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Thanks for having me, man.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Good to meet you, Jake. We'll be talking
Good to meet
a
you.
lot.
All right,
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace. Yeah, Jake's the man. He's got some awesome takes for the NFL. We'll have him on again, but I don't think he likes baseball as much as other people do either. I think he's all NFL, as you can see.
I don't think a lot of people like baseball, Neil.
Let's take a 2 or 5 minute, and then we'll get to. Do you have your parlay you want to do, or any games you're looking forward to watching today, or we'll talk NBA next week?
I want to pick NBA games since this will probably be our last episode before the games start. So I want to pick the first couple games. I won't do a parlay, but I'll do like picks for all the games.
All right, let's take a fiver, and then we'll get through that, and then we'll end the show.
All right, dope.
All right, cool. All right, welcome back to Picnic Sports. We had my buddy Jake Cody on the show. I'm excited to have him back on a regular basis. He's got some, especially throughout the football season. It's going to be fun, especially when the games start. But me and Steve are going to talk NBA games next week and maybe some lines and see if we can play some bets over there at the Turning Sun Casino. All right, Steve, we have the Utah Jazz, Pelicans, and then we have LA Clippers and LA Lakers playing the first night of the NBA restart for those two games. You want the spread, or are you just going to pick them?
No, I've got the lines here.
All right. So what do you?
So I know you picked the Jazz, but if Zion's back, I really like J. Rue. I really like the Pelicans team. I like Lonzo. So they're favorites. So I'll take a -2 in that game. I'm really excited to watch that game as the first game of the restart. And then Clippers, Lakers. I think I'm going to have to roll with the Lakers on that one at -3 right now. Lou Williams might be in an extended quarantine, so they're not sure if he's going to play for the Clippers. I think Patrick Beverley might still be hurt, and so he might not play. So Clippers might have a little bit of trouble getting going to start the restart here. So we'll roll with the Lakers and LeBron in that first game. And let's go through Friday's games too. There's a ton. This is reminding me of March Madness. This might actually be pretty cool. Brooklyn, Orlando, that game's useless. None of those teams are doing anything. We'll go Orlando on that one. They're -6, but we'll take them. I think Brooklyn's a dumpster fire. Portland's favorites against Memphis at -2, and we're gonna roll with Portland. We really like the Portland making the playoffs, so we hope they win all their games.
Yeah, they go out on a good start, right?
The next game is Phoenix and Washington. Looks like Phoenix is favored by 7, but Washington doesn't have any basketball players on their team. So I'm gonna take Phoenix at -7. Washington shouldn't even be in the bubble. Boston and Milwaukee +4.5 for Boston. I think they come out of the gate fast. They're a young team, so we'll go Boston +4.5. Sacramento, San Antonio. Sacramento's favored by 2.5. San Antonio underdogs. I don't know much about San Antonio, so let's rock with Sacramento and the young guys there. And then Dallas, Houston. This is basically a pick'em game. The line's +1, -1. Houston's favorite, so we'll go with Dallas in that game. I like Dallas.
Yeah, me too.
I'll make sure I'm gonna put all these bets into the Action Network and track them so we can see how good I did. Put it out on Twitter.
All right, that was all of them, right?
Yeah, it's all the games.
And then 8-1, we got more. Okay, cool. I'm going to take the Mavs as well. I'm going to take the Spurs. I'm going to take the Bucks. I'll take the Suns. And I'm going to take Memphis Grizzlies. That's a pick'em game too, but I think I like Memphis. So, and then I'm going to take the Magic. The Lakers, I agree with you, and then I'm taking the Jazz. So I think our biggest changes are I'm taking the Jazz, and I am taking Memphis, right?
Yep.
All right, so we got the same except those two games. I think we got 8 minutes left in the show. Where's my parlay that I was going to do? All right, I found my 5-game parlay for you guys. Chicago White Sox +1.5 today. Tampa Bay Rays -1.5 today. The Dallas Mavericks +1 versus Houston. Next week, Utah Jazz +2.5 versus the Knoll, and then LA Lakers -3 versus the Clippers. So I'm excited to talk next week after the NBA games. Do we have games on Saturday? Because that's when we want to do our next podcast.
Yeah, this game's on Saturday.
All right, cool.
They start at 8 a.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to get up for that. All right. Well, I hope I changed your mind on the baseball, and we'll talk. Get Jake back on. Hopefully, we'll get Anthony back on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to send an email or a text message to everybody that's going to be in this league, and just get that going, because we got a draft here in a couple weeks, right? If it starts on time.
We've got all of August, so we got a month. We got plenty of time to coordinate it. I'm going to have to make sure, because I don't know how many of my leagues are going to run as normal, so I'm going to have like 6 or 7 drafts just to make sure we get it scheduled in between all of them. I'm usually pretty good at having them on different days or at different times, so I'll be fine.
All right, cool. All right, any final thoughts this weekend?
No. So update on my gate that was my weekend goal last time.
Okay.
I didn't get that fence built. It was too hot, but I'm building a gate, like a barn door, or like a swinging fence gate out of PVC pipe.
Okay.
So I painted it green and orange, and I went really legit with this. I did a CAD drawing. I took all the measurements. I cut it. I made sure it's good. So I'm gonna cement it up today and install it, and then I'll send pictures out. So,
okay. All right. Cool. My goal this weekend, I'm gonna try to get a round of golf in today. So, all right.
Let's go.
All right, buddy. I'll see you next time.
All right, man. Have a good one.
See you.